Hello guys, what's going on? It's your boy Obute. Want to say thank you to all the guys that have been following my NatGeoLag series, which was supposed to be like some cruise, catching cruise about the madness that happens in Lagos, right? I recall today I told you guys I was going to give you give a video, right? To tell you why I knew today was going to be different. So here goes, yeah. Yesterday, one of the parts of the story that I didn't tell you was that the first time I ever felt to preach in a bus happened yesterday. God nudged me. I kept feeling the tug. Speak in this bus. That was the bus I was supposed to take from Obalende to Ikeja. Speak in this bus, and I was like, all right. When I was even going into the bus, I felt like I needed to sit at the back, so that I can have interface and speak over the bus. But I sat in the front, I was like, this is more convenient. And when the bus started, and we started to move, and I was like, okay, God, I'm going to speak. All right, stop nudging. There was this sound from the engine. It was really loud, and I couldn't, I felt I couldn't talk over it. I started giving God excuses like, when you want to preach, people need to hear you. You understand? God, let me teach you how this thing happens, right? But that was it. And I was like, okay, let's get on Third Mainland Bridge. I'll start to preach. Third Mainland Bridge, we were speeding, and the place was really noisy. And I was like, okay, I checked my maps to where I was going to. I was like, okay, there's going to be hold up from here to here. I'm going to speak in this hold up. We got to that place. The hold up, as in, I was like, maps used to be accurate. The hold up was not there. So I didn't, that perfect opportunity to be able to speak to the people in the bus, I didn't get it. And I was like, okay, God, I wanted to, I kept giving excuses, but I knew in my heart that, man, there was no excuse, right? If I had followed God the first time and sat at the back or something, I'd have been able to, but I had not done it before, and this was new terrain for me, even though people think I'm outspoken, but man, these kind of things, right? So I was like, okay, after the training, when I'm going back home, I'm going to do it in my bus from Ikeja back to Obalende. That bus was crazy. Remember the mini blog I was giving on my status, how this happened, and I was enjoying it, and I was just posting it up. And I was like, okay, no, I can't do this, man. So when, all thanks to Favor, by the way, that made me miss my bus stop. When we got to Aja and I was coming back, that bus that was bringing us back to Lekki, someone started to preach in the bus. So it was more like a judgment on my kid. I was like, oh boy, look at this thing, you can't even obey God. And it kept on coming to me. It was more like judgment, like you can't even obey. And the previous day, that was the previous night on Tuesday, pastor had spoken. My pastor, Pastor Chinto Ishaku, had preached, and I had streamed service. So that was a problem for me. In the night, I repented, and I was like, man, if I get this opportunity again, I'm going to do it. And like, I don't care how it's going to come out, I'm going to do it. I knew that was what I said last time about, man. So this morning, I got up, had my devotion, and I had the conversation I had. I knew this was what I had to speak in the bus. So I said, I'm not going to wait till I'm going to enter an Obalende to Ikeja bus. I'm going to start from my Lekki to Obalende bus. And in fact, I was like, in response to all the noise the devil is putting in my ear, I'm going to preach in every vehicle I enter. Lekki to Obalende, I was like, how do I start? I kept on fighting until I opened my mouth. I was like, hey, good morning, everyone. And I began to speak. And God just, helped me. This is my first time preaching, but I didn't do so bad. I even led people to Christ. I heard people beside me, saying the prayer and all of that. And I spoke out my number after the encounter and was like, anybody that has a question, just chat me up, so I can just link you up to my Lagos family and all of that. And that was a fantastic experience. That was my first time. I just broke the dog's back. From Obalende to Ikeja, it even got easier. Like I was like, okay, God, when do we start? Yes, I had that palpitation in my heart, like, oh boy, but I still did it. And it was from, I had to see my friend, Bimbo, and I had to order a boat ride. Even in the boat ride, I was like, man, be it a bus of 17 people or a boat ride of one person, I'm going to do this thing. In fact, the devil is in trouble today. I'm just going to keep speaking, right? Like fire in my bones. I just kept on talking, and it was fantastic. From Ikeja back to Obalende, that was tricky because I had a splitting headache, and I was like, God, please help me. And I began to speak. Of course, the headache left while I was speaking, and gave out my number. The person that was seated beside me, a lady, collected the number, but I didn't notice she collected the number until we dropped from that bus and we're entering the last bus that was supposed to take us back to Lekki Aja area. And I was hesitating, okay, at what point do I start to speak? So I was on my phone, I put my phone away, and I wanted to start to speak. Then she now tapped me because she was still beside me in the next bus. She now tapped me, the lady that had picked my number, was like, are you not going to speak in this bus? And I was like, I was just about to. Thank you for the nudge. And the last bus, from Obalende to Lekki, I can say was like in my own opinion, the best, because I could express myself now by reason of use, it was better. I said this story to say, man, get up. The conditions might not always add up, but obey God. It's only when we feel God is leading us that we want to be so sure, because we don't want to obey. Just, man, stand up and do it. Just start it. Start blog, start it. Because, this experience, as much as it started as a cruise, I was going to, when we were reaching Obalende from Lekki in the morning, that post I posted that see people sleeping on this pavement and it was really hard. I started to pray. I was like, no, I cast away depression. I cast away despair. It was a whole new experience for me. We catch cruise, but we know when to switch when God is speaking. So thank you very much. If you watch till the end of this video, this is like 6:17 now. So thank you very much for following this series. This is going to be the start of something else. I don't think it's going to end here. I'm beginning to feel the flare, right? So watch out. If you have screenshots from posts from Monday, because I really didn't put, I can remember some of them, but if you have screenshots, I want to do a Twitter thread. Please like, subscribe, just let's get some sweet gist out there. Yeah? So thank you very much. I don't want to make this video longer than it is. It's a Victor, the end.